In this lecture, we will talk about something very basic and equally important. We will begin by understanding what basically a network is. So let's begin. Every day we use our phones, laptops, and TV to connect to the internet, right? The phone joins Wi-Fi on its own. The laptop gets files and information from website, and the TV shows us programs from online streaming platforms. It looks easy, but there is a system working in the background. This system helps all devices share data and stay connected without problems. This is called a network. Technically speaking, a network is just a connection between two or more devices, like computers, phones, printers, that lets them share data, resources, and services. So if those devices can talk to one another, they are part of a network. Well, not all smart devices connect in the same way. Some use cables for connection, and this is called a wired connection. Others connect without cables using Wi Fi or Bluetooth, and those are called the wireless connection. Whether the connection is wired or wireless, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that data being shared between devices so they can work together. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are relaxing at home. Your phone automatically connects to Wi Fi, your laptop joins the same network. The smart TV begins streaming your favorite shows, and the printer starts printing without even needing a cable. So these devices are not just using the internet, they are communicating and working together. This is basically called home network. This idea is not limited to your house. In offices, networks help employees share files and printers. In schools, they connect computer labs and allow access to learning tools. In banks, networks make sure ATMs and branch systems talk to central servers. In hospitals, doctors use them to view patient records from different rooms. Even in cafes, public Wi Fi connects customers while keeping their connections safe and separate. Now, let me take you back to where networks started. Back in the late 1960s, researchers created something called ARPANET, which stands for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. Computers back then could not talk to each other. ARPANET changed that. It was the first major step toward digital communication, connecting computers through telephone lines so data could be shared between locations. Then in 1970s, something called TCP/IP was developed. These are communication rules that tell devices how to send and receive information over a network. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and IP stands for Internet Protocol. Don't worry too much about the technical side. We will explore TCP/IP properly in our next lectures. For now, just know that it is the foundation of how the internet works today. As time went on, network grew. Offices set up local networks. The internet expanded. Also, people began sending emails, visiting websites, and working online. And this happened all through different type of networks. Let's talk about a few of those networks. The first one is PAN, which stands for Personal Area Network. Is very small. Let's say your phone connecting to your Bluetooth headset is a simple good example. Then there is LAN, which is in short for Local Area Network. This is the kind you find in homes, offices, or schools where all connected devices are nearby or close. Then there is WAN, which is in short for Wide Area Network, which connects networks over longer distances, like when different branches of a company are connected. There's also a term called MAN, which stands for Metropolitan Area Network, which connects parts of a city, like public Wi Fi across train stations. Well, there is another term that universities often use called Campus Area Network, or CAN, to connect their buildings. Also, in data centers, a SAN, or Storage Area Network, allows servers to share storage quickly and securely. So just remember that networks exist in many forms, but their job is always the same to connect devices so they can work together. Now let's talk about what makes a good network. If you're building one, it should be reliable. The devices should stay connected without random problems. It should also be secure, so only authorized people can use it. It should be flexible and ready to grow when more users join. And most importantly, it should be easy to manage so you can monitor performance and fix issues. This is exactly what we will learn in this course. Not just the networking meaning, but how to create real networks step by step and how to manage them like a professional. So, in our next lecture, we'll discover why networks are so important, from homes filled with smart devices to busy hospitals saving lives and even global companies managing operation across continents. Network is behind the scene that is making it all possible.
Hey, if you found this tip helpful, then please show some support by hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, let us know what would you like to learn next.